Hello, welcome to this week's How's the Market, Pensacola. Well, I can't sell the house because there's a lien on it, and it's more than the house is worth. Okay, so that was a phone call I got this week, or this past week actually, and it was a customer, who was turned into a customer actually, saying that they've watched the show a couple of times and just kind of wanted to get my feedback on something. Had a property for sale by owner, so they were selling it themselves. Okay. And then said, hey, we have a lien on a property, so what do we do? I'm like, well, that's probably why you shouldn't have tried to sell it for sale by owner. But, everybody thinks you're just saving a bunch of commission and that there's nothing of value that we bring to the table. Well, in this case, I said, I can absolutely help you. And we worked out a deal to where I could. Now, I have to be careful because at this particular point, I know what to do. But I also know that you're going to have to get a lawyer involved because that is a legal question. Here's the basis premise. Most liens cannot attach to a homesteaded property in the state of Florida. It's one of the reasons that I tell all my buyers that are going to homestead something, if you're going to live there, homestead it. It's not just for the tax benefits, it's also for anything. You get an accident, basically Florida says you can't come take someone's bed where they lay their head at night. This particular client owns some multiple rental properties and also had their home, and when they got a lien placed on them, it placed on all their real estate, and they mistakenly put it on the home. So you have to do what's called a different lawsuit. I can't go into the different lawsuits. I'm not a lawyer. I've played one on TV, but I'm not a lawyer. So we have to pay attention to that. But I sent them over. Luckily, part of my team, I have what I consider one of the best lawyers in town that actually works on a lot of these. And so I knew what to do, and I sent him over to him, and he's like, yep, good to go. And that's going to take 2 months. But there's some other parts of that contract that I was like, are we sure this is what we're wanting to do? So pay attention to terms, and, resources are the other reason why you hire a good broker. I had a property that I listed on Inverarity Island, and I know that it came down to me and one other person. They were interviewing a different real estate broker. And when I talked to them, they said, hey, listen, it came down to two things. We think that both of you bring some strengths to the table. We just think you got some better resources. I went, okay. Well, I've built almost 30 years doing this. Almost 30 years. That's crazy. Almost 30 years doing this, yes, I have some resources at my fingertips. You can't survive almost 30 years in this business without having some resources on your fingertips. So all about price, terms, and making sure you can validate those terms. And sometimes that requires you getting third parties involved. Sometimes that requires you getting lawyers involved. Like, I know this will work because I've seen it work before. We've done this 2 dozen times, 3 dozen times where liens are wrong on this. But it takes some time, and you got to have somebody know the process. So the buyer's luckily willing to wait because it's going to take 2 months, easy. And the seller's going through the process to get that done. That's just part of the stuff that I see. It's just part of the stuff that I see. But anyways, let's tell you what, instead of all that, let's talk about inventory levels here in Escambia and Santa Rosa County. Let's go. All right, if you don't know, I always start with this slide right here. It says if we have between 6 and 7 months worth of inventory, we have what's called a neutral market. Anything greater than 7 months considered a buyer's market. Anything less than 6 months considered a seller's market. What the slide doesn't say, anything greater than 9 months considered a hyper buyer's market. Anything less than 3 considered a hyper sellers. Let's jump over to Escambia County to begin with, and looks like we're 395. We've added a couple, but not much. Not much. You have to get up to $400,000 to get under, or to get over 1 month's inventory. Everything else is under a month's inventory there. Then you've got this little pocket, which we've seen is coming down some, 500,000 to 550,000. That is at 2.3. So I want to say that was 2.6 or 2.7. Now let me clarify something. I bring up these pockets just for you to see statistically. Does this mean this is not still a hyper seller's market at that price point? Absolutely not. Listed a property I think I talked about Innerity Island out there, and we put it right in this price point range. And I still had multiple showings and multiple offers because it was a great property. Sellers are extremely happy. But yeah, so this price point actually still is moving, and we're still selling 99, 100% of list, if not more. I had a buyer call me up the other day saying, I'm willing to offer you exactly what you're asking. I'm like, okay, but there are multiple offers in there, and so just so you know. And they said, well, has anything gone over? Well, I can't tell you that, okay? I cannot ethically give you any indication what the other offers are. I just can't, right? I know some people in the industry do it. I do, but I'm one of those that likes to sleep better at night. So I don't. When you ask me how many offers, multiple. Has anything gone over? They're great offers. That's all I can tell you. To me, it's like, attorney-client privilege. There's a fiduciary responsibility I have to the sellers. And some buyers get mad at me because they're like, hey, I want to use you as the buyer. So what's the responsibility to me? And the responsibility to you is to tell you, hey, this is the best that you can do. I would come in with the best. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. But you're not losing sleep. It's when you're trying to get it for slightly less than what you're willing to do, and then you don't get it, that's when you start losing sleep. So there's some issues there, but I wanted to bring that up because that 5 to 550, shows a pocket. It's still very, very active for the right properties. 600 to 700,000 is back down to 1 month, a little over a month, and then the luxury at 700,000 plus, and Escambia County is 2.4 months worth of inventory. Let's jump over to Santa Rosa and see where they're at. 175, so we went down again in total inventory. Looks like, if you remember last week, we had that analogy of there was nothing under 100. First time I'd seen that in a while. Well, now we have one. So here, I wanted to bring this up because right now, using that, if you guys watched the show last week, you watched the show this week, okay? Using statistics like that, I could sit here and say Santa Rosa County, real estate numbers double in inventory, crash coming. What? And then I can go on and start spitting facts about how the feds are going to raise rates. They may slow up some because of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, but they're going to raise rates. We've seen inflation rates at 7 point something right now. You're going to see that raise. And so I can point to all these things saying crash coming. But my biggest premise was inventory levels doubled. Did I lie? No, I didn't. But watch your headlines, because especially when people start using statistics, it's really easy to make the story say whatever you want it to. Inventory did double at that price point from 0 to 1. And oh, by the way, that's a lot. So I say that to prove a point. Watch your headlines. 175 total, and out of the 175 total, 44 of it is your luxury. So that's what, a third of it is luxury. It's going to get you get up to 300,000, and we've got, let me do quick math, 11, 12, 20, 33 properties. 33 properties total. If you get up to 350,000, we've got 43 total. That's everything. And in that 350,000 to 400,000, there is 33 in that price point. Again, that's a sweet spot for your builders right now. So some of them are putting the actives on, selling 8 or 9 houses, but the active stays on right there, so it skews the numbers just slightly. All right, that are numbers for the 2 counties this week. I always end the show talking about my instant offer program. And I want to say that it seems like, I spoke a little bit about this last week, it seems like we're starting to get some wholesalers from Central and South Florida marketing up here. And some of them are putting some very unrealistic prices on property, thinking that they're talking about Fort Lauderdale. And looking at comps and thinking that you can appreciate something 30, 40% past the comps because the comps are, 3 weeks old. No, I know Miami just surpassed NYC as being less affordable. It's less affordable to live in Miami than it is in NYC right now. But when they come up here, all you're going to do is get frustration. Because these guys are telling people, I had one tell me, hey, listen, I got this 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's on a main road, so it's commercial. Okay, again, not arguing, just kind of like my headline a second. I'm not going to argue there. That is true. So you can get it for $900,000. You want me to buy a 1,200 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath on a main road for $900,000? Yeah. On a tenth of an acre? Yeah. No. No. I mean, I guess if there was some quickly downtown, perhaps, but that square foot just seems off for that. But, in Miami, that may be very, very, very valid. So if they're trying to sell it at 900 here, that means that they've told the seller, because what a wholesaler does is put something under contract and tries to sell the contract higher than they have it under contract for, keep the difference. Okay. Nothing wrong with it. It just, they've probably told this particular seller an unrealistic number because now they're coming up with 900 and hoping that I'll pay it and buy them out of it, which means they probably are not going to close. I started the instant offer program last April, so we're right here at the year mark on it. I have never not closed on an offer that I give you. Now, with that being said, some people take my offer to kind of use as the, as the red herring to lead away, or, I forget the other thing right now. I need more coffee. But they try and get more. So those obviously I don't close because they got more. Cool. Great. Good for you. I'm happy either way. I've been doing this a long time, so I'm happy either way. If I can help you with it, great. If you can get more for it and it helps you get even better, great. Fantastic. I had a client listed a couple of weeks ago. There was no way I could give them what they got. And they got it in cash. But, there's a sentimental reason the people that are buying it are, their parents live on the street and they're moving back. And so there's more to it. Some people are overpaying for some reasons. But that instant offer program has worked really, really well. There's some information below if you want to get any information about it. All right. We're going on 12, 13 minutes now. So it's a little bit longer show than I normally like. So we will wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. I'm a man on a mission. My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and don't need no permission. I want to help you get to actual truth. Don't you just want the truth?